Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mindset Model Podcast, the house of good vibes and unicorn energy. I am your number one hype girl, cheering you through the game of life. On this podcast, I'm here to help you unleash your best self, to bring your wildest dreams to life using the art of mindset and manifestation. Let's create magic. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mindset Model Podcast. I hope you are having the best week so far, enjoying life to the max. And if you're not, don't worry, my loves, you've come to the right place. So in this episode, I wanted to go back to basics and share a simple 5-step manifesting formula. Now, there's loads of different formulas out there. There's like an 8-step one, all sorts of hints and tips, but I just really want to have something really simple. If you've never used manifestation before or had an awareness of it before, this is a great starting point. So, a couple of notes. Manifestation is actually something that happens 24/7. So it's not something that you think, do you know what? I'm going to take 30 minutes out today and I'm just going to do a little bit of manifestation. It's actually happening all the time, and we are very unaware of this. And most humans are actually completely unaware that manifestation as a whole exists. Now, as I said, you cannot turn it off. You cannot turn it on. It is just there. It's a little bit like gravity, for example. That is something that we know exists. We can't see it, but we don't wake up in the morning and think, do you know what? I don't feel like having any gravity today. I'm just going to turn it off. It doesn't work like that. The same thing with manifestation. So let's have a little look at some definitions of manifestation. Different ways that you can describe it. So it's going from seeing something in your mind and then you see it in your real life. When your thoughts become things, when your internal world gets mirrored into your external world, the phenomenon, I can never say that word, but I think I said that right. The phenomenon that occurs when something that originated in your imagination becomes actualized in your physical reality. It is amazing. I'm obsessed with manifestation, as you can probably tell. And whether you believe it's a crock of shit or not, it is happening. So you can choose to use this superpower to create your best life. And that's exactly what I did. And in my studies, I have found so much evidence backing the power of manifestation. I've seen it, I've lived it, I've used it, and it's absolute magic. And it has been kept a secret from humans, and I'm sure you can come up with your own ideas as to why, but we really do have unlimited potential, and it all comes from the mind. So many of us, including myself, actually manifest things that we don't want, and that's purely due to our programming, our beliefs, and our environment. What we believe to be true, what we choose to believe is true, which is why the inner work is so bloody important. You can change the story in your mind. You have the power to do that. You can rewire your beliefs. And, you know, some of the things that you can do is focusing on your self-image, which I spoke about in a previous podcast episode, and all of those magic things. So let's dive into the steps. So step number 1, what do you want? Get it on paper, put it on a vision board, get creative and be clear. Clarity is so important here. So the next step is why. Now this really does link into the first step. Why do you want these things? And this is where we can actually uncover some of our limiting beliefs and programming, because sometimes we think we want something when actually we don't. And a lot of the time, we can actually be living for other people. So ask yourself questions. Am I living for someone else? Do I want this for someone else? Or do I genuinely want this for me? An example, do you want a big house because somebody else has a massive, great big mansion? Because a big house, a mansion means luxury. Or maybe you would be happier in a beautiful little countryside cottage. Do you want to be an MD, a managing director, because it looks good, it sounds powerful? Or are you trying to fill a hole from a trauma of losing a job and you feel unworthy, and to be worthy, you need to be a managing director? Oh yes, it gets quite deep here, doesn't it? Really check in with what you want, and just some really great questions that you can ask yourself. What actually excites you? If you could have anything without the restrictions of money, what would that be? Or the restrictions of circumstances? What would you have? What would you love? Make sure your wants are your wants and not what society expects from you, parents putting pressure, friends and family. If it feels good and exciting to you, then it is meant for you. And also, so many of us limit ourselves here because we put restrictions up, because we've been told to live lives by staying in our lanes. You know, the usual: get married, have kids, buy a house and die. And, if that genuinely is what lights you up, that is fantastic. You go for it. You absolutely go for it. That is fantastic. But for me, no fucking thank you. So step 3. Feeling is the key. Oh yes. So you've got your idea. You know what you want, what you genuinely want. And this is where we start to activate the law of vibration and the law of attraction, which I spoke about in a previous podcast. If you don't know what this means, have a little listen. So what would this feel like to have? Feelings have frequencies and attract what you want. So you can use things like guided meditations or visualizations to really tap into these feelings. If you had what you genuinely wanted, how would that feel? And a really great way that you can bring this to life is, can you visualize, say, for example, someone congratulating you on getting the thing that you want? Maybe a shout out message or an email. Someone sent you some flowers, popping the champagne, all those good vibes. Feeling is the key. So step 4, inspired action. I love this one. It's such an important step in the manifestation process. I mean, they all are, but especially this one, because we tend to forget about this one. So act as if, really embody. So what little things can you do to start building towards your manifestations, your wants, your desires? Could you create a website if you're wanting to start a business? Could you start doing tasks that relate to the promotion that you want? Could you test drive your dream car? Could you start viewing houses you would love to live in? These are really great ways to take inspired action towards what you want. Also, who are you being? This is so important. How would the version of you that had these things act? So an example for me, I love being a boss babe. That is so in alignment with my purpose. I had my human design chart done, and my purpose, my dharma, the whole reason for me being on this planet is for inspiring people, being a role model and being a leader. So I act like this every single day. I look after myself. I turn up with confidence. And it's really funny because a little story, my laptop bag was falling to pieces. It was all frayed and scabby, and I did not feel good about it. And I asked myself, I was like, now, would boss babe Sarah Davis be walking around with this shoddy bag? Absolutely fucking not. So I put this on my manifesting list. I had an idea of what I wanted, this sexy boss babe laptop bag that fits all of my notepad, iPad, phones, cables, and all of that stuff in. Then I found the most beautiful laptop bag. Oh my goodness me. And it was on sale. I just love it. I literally just sit there holding it like a baby and stroking it. But honestly, I get compliments every day on this bag, and it helps me to feel good. When you feel good, you are on a higher frequency and you attract more amazing things into your life. So just a little example, what could you do to help you to get to that frequency and that energy? Now, the final step that I'm going to talk about today is a very important step. And I know I've said everything's important, but this is really important. And it's actually release. Let it go. Do not obsess over your manifestations. And this is where most people absolutely stack it. This is where we all mess it up. And I've done this as well. And I am actually going to share in the next episode on how to let go, how to manage frustrations when you can't see your goals manifesting. They're taking ages to manifest and all of that. Now, the how you're going to get your things is not actually your job. It is the job of the universe, higher powers, whatever you believe, spirit, God, whatever your beliefs are. When you look back at the things that you wanted, but now have them, they rarely happen the way that you imagine. And I'm going to share a story of this, and maybe I'll go into a little bit more detail in this story in another podcast because it still blows my mind too today. So our house, where we're living at the moment, my dream house, I literally love it. There is no way in hell we could have afforded this house. And there is no way we would have predicted how we managed to actually buy this house. It was magic. So, first of all, stamp duty. Like, this is a thing. I don't even really understand it. But there was a time after COVID when stamp duty was abolished, which is unheard of. Unheard of. And there was a specific period of time, and we managed to save something like £10,000 off the value of this house. That's the first crazy thing that happened. Now, the home that we live in is in a very sought after area, very posh indeed. And we really had an idea of what we wanted to do, where we wanted to live. Now, this house came up in our price range, which is impossible, literally impossible. It was £100,000 cheaper than the rest of the houses in this area. £100,000. What the hell? And the reason being, the previous owner of this house was smoking 600,000 cigarettes a day, literally. And this lowered the price so much, and it put off other buyers, which is amazing. Literally, people would open the front door, take the fumes in, and run down the street screaming it smelt so bad. But we were savvy as fuck, and we saw the opportunity, and we snatched this. We knew that all we needed to do was just literally wash down the walls, rip up the carpet. The smell was gone within one day, and we had our dream house. We love it here. Now, have a think. Have there been times in your life when things have happened so unexpectedly and they bring you the things that you actually wanted? So step 5 is just release, let it go. Don't think about how it's going to happen. Our job is to know what we want and why we want it, and to be on the frequency and the energy of the person by taking little action steps towards the goal. Little things every single day. You will start to notice random opportunities will start popping up. People will enter your life that are so in alignment with what you want. You may even start seeing other people with the things that you want, which is actually a very good sign. So cheer these people on. You will be guided towards the things that you want. Just keep an awareness and keep that trust and that faith. Trust that process. So as I said, this is just the 5 steps, just a little bit of a taster. And I will go into a lot more detail in other podcasts, but have a go. Dream big and believe in yourself. See you all in the next episode.